Hello everybody, my name's Jackie Wilson. I'm one of the co-founders of Positively Empowered Kids. This is the final workshop of the last 2 days. Our conscious parenting event has been phenomenal. I'm so blown away by the incredible speakers that have given their time to support us. So I thank each and every one of our speakers for giving us the time, their very precious time, and sharing some really insightful information with you. So today, as our final session, it's me. And my company is Empower Education. I'm passionate about helping young people, the parents, the educators that are around them, to grow healthy, thriving minds, to find their happiness and to realise their potential. I also have another company, the Emotions Toolkit, which is a resource for young minds to be able to self-regulate their emotions more easily. My talk today is the power of empathy, staying heart-centered through children's challenging moments. And goodness me, do they have a lot of challenging moments. As a mum of 3 children, my eldest is 23, my youngest is 11, I have experienced a wide range of different emotional challenges that my children have gone through. And through many years of parenting, I've learned so many different things. Children are real teachers. They give us so much information, and it's really important that we listen. I'm going to share with you a quote that might give you a bit of insight into the whole conscious parenting aspect. So a conscious relationship is one in which people are awake to themselves, to their feelings, their thoughts, and are open to the flow of love and attention for one another. So it's quite a powerful quote, and that's by Gay and Kate Hendricks on Co-Committed, Taking Responsibility for Our Relationships. And I think my journey, my personal journey, has been very much about becoming awake to my own emotions, my own feelings, my own thoughts, what's happening around me as well. And really with my children being heart-centered, and it isn't easy as a parent to be continually heart-centered, but the more we practice it and really step into or drop into our hearts, then we can really have that flow going, and it is down to us as a parent to model that and to share that flow of love and attention, so that then our children begin to model that and start to do exactly the same, because they are little mirrors. They will mirror what they see. So as we go through this session, I'm going to guide you through a little bit of an insight in underneath the surface of a child's behaviour, a child's emotions, so that you can get a bit more insight that will support you as a parent through those times, which can be so enormously challenging for us to keep control of ourselves when our children, we've asked them maybe 10 times to do something and they still haven't done it. Empathy is the power to connect, to understand, to be with and be present, and just allow that child to feel and experience exactly what they're feeling without us expecting them to be any different, and to understand we've also felt like that at some point in our past. We felt angry, we felt enormously worried about things and scared about things. So we can drop into that feeling with them. It's like stepping into their shoes with them and just being with them, no matter how hard that is, just allowing them to experience that and know that that emotion is real, it is theirs, and it is happening. Once you can do that, what happens is you connect more deeply with your child, and you can bring them out of that emotional state more easily and get them to come back into that more rational place. So I've got another quote for you, one that I really, really, really love, and it's quite a powerful one as well. So, how children are feeling determines how they behave. And that's why we should always pay more attention to their feelings than we do their behaviour. So that quote was from Bridget Miller, and quite often there's lots out there about behaviour management, getting your children to behave, sitting them on the naughty step and all of those sorts of things out there. But there's one thing that it's missing. It's about tuning into those emotions and what it is that set them off. So I'm going to take you through that so you can gain a little bit of insight into what could be beneath the behaviour. So if we take a behaviour, for example, of tantruming because they can't have something. So that might be an angry response. And the angry response could be actually they're feeling really sad that they can't have that thing that they really wanted. Something we might have said may have brought shame upon them, and that could make them angry. They could feel embarrassed. They could feel really overwhelmed that they just so wanted that thing and they can't have it, and it's just overwhelmed them, and it's brought out the behaviour of kicking and punching, and it's an angry feeling, but underneath it tells a completely different story of what's really beneath that. You know, the other emotion, which is quite a big emotion on the other side of the fence, is anxiety. So fighting is the anger, anxiety is the kind of running away, the fear. And underneath anxiety, a child that's worried to go to school, for example, it could be that they feel rejected by us, but actually we're not rejecting them, but that's that child's view of the world. They could be hurt, they could feel insecure, they might not feel confident enough about being at school, maybe because they weren't able to do that maths test yesterday. They might be jealous of you being at home or doing something else. They might be really frustrated because all they want to do is stay at home. There's so much of a message underneath that. They might just need some love. They might just feel really lonely and just want that connection. So there's not a one size fits all on what it would be, but there are different things going off for a child. So why do children misbehave, and how can we start to understand them a little bit better? It could be that they want to feel like they belong. Sometimes if they don't feel they belong, we've had this with siblings before, that a new child's come into the family, even years down the line, they still have this feeling and this decision, this belief that they've made that they don't belong. And so that might be a message that they need more time with you, they need more attention and connection, they just might need a bit extra hugs to feel like that. If you hear them saying that you like Fred more than me, or he's better than me, or whatever, you know, these children do have things going off for them. And there's the other thing of significance. They need some power of their own. Children feel so unable to control their lives because as parents, as teachers, they are being told to do things so many times. If we pick up that actually they're trying to control things, it might be that we need to give them some decisions. So, okay, what would you like for tea? Would you like pasta? Would you like fish and chips, for example? You can give them a choice. It might be, oh, do you want to do your teeth first, or do you want me to do your hair? It's giving them that choice that they've got to do anyway, but you're giving them that control and power of choice. So that gives them that significance, that they feel that they've got some power there. They might not feel safe, or there might be a message that something's just not right. So if they feel out of control or they feel unsafe, they may kick, they may hurt somebody. If they need more control, they may tantrum, they may talk back at you, we know that. And they might not listen as a form of control. And if they need to feel loved and they need to feel that attention and that connection, there may be a lot of clinging and whining. And they also might have some really deep beliefs. One of my deep beliefs from 3 years old was, I'm not good enough. And it's a big belief held by a lot of young people, and it travels on into their adult lives, and the belief can make them feel angry that they just don't feel good enough. And so as parents, we can help them to change that. So There are all these unmet needs that go on. They might feel disrespected, they may feel that they don't trust somebody, and so that can create all sorts of emotions that are going on. You know, there's certain messages that could come from children. Their emotions underneath the behaviour, so the anger, the anxiety, the sadness, whatever those emotions are, if we can be with our children, we may pick up on the message they're trying to tell us, which could be, I can't cope, I'm struggling, I need help, this is impossible to get through, I need attention, I just don't understand, I feel unsafe, I need connection, I need that love, I need to gain some control in my life, and I'm just not good enough. So many different thoughts are going off in their mind. If we can take the time to be with them empathically, sit with and be with, it starts to unwind. So it's an incredible part of conscious parenting, is the ability to manage our own thoughts and emotions that are happening all the time around what our child's not doing, what we've got to do, these busy lives that we lead. If we can just slow that down and be present with our child, what that means is we can connect, we can be with, and we can more deeply understand our child, which is just what they want. And this relates to whether they're 5, whether they're 8, or whether they're 15, or even in their 20s. People need empathy and connection. They need that compassion, that real heart-centered connection. If you know, a lot of the time as parents, we want to fix our kids, we want to rescue them, we want to make sure they're okay, and we'll do anything we can. We're coming from this problem-solving parent mind of how can we stop them from being upset and all of this, whereas actually if we can drop into our hearts, just be there and see them as a child that's struggling and that's got a message for us, and we can start to try to understand that, it's just a different experience and a very powerful one, which will create deeper, more meaningful relationships, less conflict, more connection. So how can you do that? Let's give you an idea, really useful ways that you can very simply start to bring this into your parenting style, if that's what you feel is right for you. So the first thing I would always say is take responsibility for how you feel. One thing that I see happen quite a lot is parents blame their kids. You've made me really unhappy. You've made me really cross. If we really understand that our emotions are created from within us, there is not one person who can make us feel a certain way. It could be 2 people, 2 adults in the room, and almost always each adult will react differently to what that child has just done. Almost always. So it's really good to know and take responsibility for how we feel. So we just rephrase it. We just say, do you know what, right now I'm feeling a little frustrated, or I'm feeling a little sad about what just happened. So I'm just going to take a moment to calm myself down. And that's a real good, powerful modelling tool. So first of all, we're acknowledging that we're feeling something, and it's okay that we're feeling that. We're not blaming anybody, so there's no shame involved. And we're doing something to regulate that, to regulate our emotions so we can be with that child. So really dropping into our heart, and a really simple way to do that is whenever we feel agitated in any way, is to just imagine, this is a scientifically proven technique. We can just be in our heart. Imagine we can put our hands on our heart center in the middle of our chest, and we can just imagine breathing slowly in and out of this area. We don't have to have our hands on our chest, but you can just breathe in. Slow, long breaths. If you're feeling frustrated, if you're feeling anxious, if you're feeling really upset about it, just breathe into the heart. Bring yourself out of your head, out of the emotional state, and drop into the heart. And this is the place of love, compassion, kindness. And we always want to be kind to our children as much as possible. So being in our heart and accepting that we're feeling something that's uncomfortable, and that's okay. It's a great thing to model to our children. Breathing into and out of our hearts. And then we can be present. That brings us into a state of presence with our child. So we're modelling how we're feeling. We're okay that that child's kicking off. That's okay. We're also feeling frustrated. I'm just going to take time to calm myself down so I can be with you. And how about we just sit together a minute while mummy calms down or daddy calms down. Okay, so it's that connection. The connection is the second thing. We want to sit with them, be with their emotional state, acknowledge it. How are you feeling? You might want to do it on a scale of 1 to 10. You might not be able to tell me how you're feeling right now, but 1 to 10, 1's feeling the worst you've ever felt, 10 is feeling amazing. Where are you right now? Help me understand. That's what kids want. They want you to listen. They want you to understand. So they can give you that number. They might tell you what that feeling is. Encourage them to change their language, not to say, I am angry, I am really cross, to say, I feel angry, because I am, we embody it, we become it, whereas I feel enables us to move through it. I'm feeling it right now, but I'm able to move through it. So encourage them to name and identify and speak out their emotion. And just say, do you know what, even if you don't know what to say, the easiest thing to say is, that must be really hard right now, but I'm here with you. Not trying to fix them. Even if you've said no and they can't do something, I'm here. That must be really hard that I've said no to you. I can see that you're feeling angry because I said that. And I get that. I really am here for you. It's not going to change things, but I get how angry that's made you feel. That acknowledgement that you see how important that was to them shifts the whole situation, and it's very unlikely your child will kick and scream much longer, because you have really helped them to get through that. Encouraging self-regulation. Now, self-regulation in a child can be really challenging, particularly, well, in fact, all through childhood. It's challenging at young ages, 3 and 4. It's challenging as teenagers. It's challenging in our 20s. Our brains don't fully develop until, for boys, 25-ish, for girls, 28. So we can support our children by co-regulating with them. So we do it with them. That means we join them in co-regulating. And there is simple tools out there. So I showed you the heart-centered breathing. That's a really lovely tool. My emotions toolkit has a wide range of other tools. There are loads of breathing techniques out there that you can go find, and you can find ones that suit your child and suit you. So that if you know your child has a certain tool, I mean, one of ours is the take 5, where we breathe in 5 times up and down our finger. And if that's a tool that the child really loves, then if they're in a state of overwhelm and they're getting irritated, frustrated, you can say, right, I'm going to sit with you. Let's do your tool. Even if the child doesn't join in, okay, you can just slowly breathe and do their tool, co-regulate with them, and your calmness will affect them. It's just how it goes. And in time, and this isn't a quick solution, but in time, they will begin to copy, they will begin to follow. It might take 10 times of doing this process. It might take 15 or 20, but eventually it will come through. And then I would always recommend, the empathy is number 1. If you're going to get them to think about their behaviour, you absolutely, number 1 rule, you do not talk about their behaviour until they're in a calm place. Because a child who has flipped their lid, this is our little brain, and I do this in other videos, but flipped lids of children, when they're in that heightened, angry, anxious state, they cannot hear you. They cannot listen. It's impossible. That is offline. So it's really important that we just let them go through those emotions, bring themselves down, bring themselves into that more present, more calm, more balanced state. Their nervous system settles. Then when all is calm, that's when you start to discuss, because they're more rational. They're very irrational when they're in their emotional states. So I hope that's really helpful to you. You can contact me directly at any time. It's jackie@empowereducation.co.uk. I would be more than happy to work one-to-one with you, your child, and support you to get this plan of action into place so that you can really work more consciously and effortlessly with your child and have the most meaningful relationships that you can for the rest of their lives, because you put this in place now, it's there forever. And always remember that as a parent, you are doing the very, very best job that you can at any moment, and every day we learn more things, you know. And I'm on my third child and I'm still learning more stuff now. I'm happy to share, I'm happy to support. Please feel free to get in touch. Thank you everybody for joining our Conscious Parenting event. We have absolutely, as I say, loved this day, and we hope to see you again soon. Bye for now.